Oh, we chickens.
Hi, friends. Uh, well, we're live for another edition of Pop Question exclusively here on the Popcast Network. Um, Lots of questions, I'm sure, surrounding anybody that's been watching for a while knows about my normal Friday movie plans, and especially because of the award season, I got my first viewing of Women Talking, which I'll just simply say, Ben Wishaw, use a bitch, straight up. You don't leave. You don't you go with, you don't stay. Come on, that's lame. Don't give up. You gave up. That's the reason why you're not getting nominated on Tuesday. Period. And I got a second viewing of Tar. Um, I'm not going to be upset if it does well. I enjoyed it the second time. I was able to understand the the language of Lydia Tar. AJ kind of equated it to our inside jokes we like throwing out and everything, comedy for one is still comedy, that stuff, and doing it with obscure pop culture references versus what she did with not necessarily obscure, but like composers and musicians and people in music. So it made me enjoy it more. I actually laughed a bit.
To put
Kate
it,
Blanchett did a great job, and you know what? I'm rooting for her at the Oscars. Because anything to take awards away from everything, everywhere, all at once, I'm happy about.
yeah, to put it simply, I had to give you a brief sort of class on tar. I felt like
Yes,
I was teaching a class a little bit.
yes, you were.
Ironically,
Meh. Sorry about that. I just watched the movie. It's not going to do anything, Brian. So I wasn't trying to spoil anything. Basically, I didn't say and explain anything. He just Ben Washington just hey, there you go. Yeah. Um, Lots to talk about. Big week, obviously. Something's going on Tuesday. I don't know what that may be. Something big's going on Tuesday. I don't know, something about 8:30 in the Eastern Standard Time and something going on with yeah. The thing we've waited all year for. Yes, that's what's happening. Three of us, me, AJ, Ashley, three separate videos, three separate reactions, 6 or 7 question mark p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to discuss everything, and that's going to be a fun little conversation. So yes, my name is Owen. I am your host today, and joining me as always, we have Ashley. Oh boy. See, here's the best part. He doesn't talk, and then he takes a sip. So now it looks like he took another sip, and he got his voice back. Nope.
Or not.
Bait and switch. I actually did.
What?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Oh wow! I went so loud on that. Yes, I peaked the audio. Apologies, everybody. I've never seen that bar go red before. It was if to go. Holy shit! What are you doing?
I'm sure that bar went red plenty doing wrestling podcasts with you back in the day.
What I meant to say is, BAFTA hates Spielberg, don't they?
No.
BAFTA doesn't matter. It's like the Who's Line points.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter for some things, it matters for other things. She said, way to go. We'll get there. Oh yeah, awards conversation. Not being talked about today. Got a whole show for that Tuesday. Lots to talk about today. Oh, by the way, chat gets cut in 45 minutes because we got a lot to talk about. And I'm trying to make this a nice, smooth 2 hours. So let's go. Welcome, everyone. Chris, welcome.
Hello.
And AJ.
Yeah.
All right. Oh boy, here we go. Josie says, "Hey, Popcast team, finished reading The Water Babies. Currently reading Mountain Wolf Woman, Sister of Crashing Thunder, the autobiography. Take a shot of Winnebago Indian so far. So interesting." She asked real quick, which autobiography, memoir books do you like?
Foley.
I haven't really. What were you saying?
All I need to say is Mick Foley. He's just very upfront and honest in all his stuff.
I haven't explored that territory as much as I want. That's basically one of those to-do list things, is to go through like a shitload of autobiographies, because that's something I've always kind of wanted to do, but I don't think I have enough to answer that question yet. But hopefully before too long.
There's been a couple good biographies that I've checked out, but I can't think of any autobiographies that come to mind.
Yeah, I don't really know the difference. Like Mick Foley. His books are always good. Always very interesting and entertaining. Birthdays of Diane Lane, Daryl McCormick, Linda Blair, Justin Hurwitz, Jim Jarmusch, Piper Laurie, Guy Fieri. I'll get you for that one. Troy Minsick and the late John Hurt and the late Seymour Castle. Guy and Luke McConaughey are friends. They should write a cookbook together.
Fieri
All
has
right.
his birthday and his dog dies.
Shit.
That's pretty rough. Oh shit! I didn't mean to fuck.
Happy Chinese New Year. Thank you. Josie, my brother and his girlfriend, Raosia, are celebrating. She's Chinese. It's the Year of the Rabbit. First time watches since last Mia and Ego from 2008. Junior. Heaven Help Us. A Fistful of Dynamite, a.k.a. Duck You Sucker. Which is funny because it's the first time I've seen it spelled out. And the way that Ashley said it so many times, I was thinking it was one word. Or it's, I don't know, just, I'm not doing the show anyway, but I mean, still, it just kind of piqued my interest. Josie says, Schwarzenegger spent time in obstetricians' waiting rooms to learn how pregnant women behave. Ivan Reitman, out of all the movies made with Schwarzenegger, this movie was not his best, but his favorite.
When you were saying those, were you saying the title "Heaven Help Us," or were you saying "Heaven Help Us" in response to Junior?
No, the
Heaven Help Us,
1985 film.
1985.
Yeah.
Josie continues with the Junior trivia. Brian Levant was originally chose to direct, but Arnold refused to star in his movie unless Reitman directed it. Fun fact, the pitch meeting was Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito, twins.
I'm not surprised at all Brian Levant was attached to that.
Yes. Schwarzenegger and DeVito were doing another movie together today. Which director would you like to see them work with?
Jason Reitman.
That's a fair assessment. Yeah, I can see that.
Is it cliche to say Wes?
That'd be fun.
Oh, yes.
I might have to steal that answer. 'Cause
To be fair,
To go with
it was only last week that I found out that Wes Anderson is bringing out 2 movies this year.
Well, one's a streaming movie, so I won't probably, and hopefully that I will be able to see it at some point.
I'll also, in addition to Jason Reitman, I'll go with a Ryan Johnson Knives Out sequel.
Not bad. Jordan Peele.
Interesting.
I want to go like unique and different. That is the definition of unique and different.
Oh, great.
Oh my dad, we have a lot of chat to get through. I'll do the best I can. Ashley, try to keep up if you can as
Should we
well.
get the picks?
Do you want to go into it right now?
Or just so it's there, because in case people pop in and whatever.
Okay, so Popcast Movie Club. This will give you everybody a chance to vote for your pick. for the next time around. We give our 4 picks, and we're going to determine what you're voting for.
So first up, I think chronologically from how it went last time was AJ.
When we started Movie Club, the first thing we did was a pick of mine from 1992, which was a fantastic year. And now I think I'm coming somewhat full circle and picking my favorite movie of 1992, which is The Crying Game.
Then it's you, Owen, from what I can tell.
All right, so I think I got this like reputation for throwing out the dark comedies and the lighthearted stuff. You know what? This is a movie that I've loved for a long time. It's interesting because it's got a lot of big names in it, but it's not a movie that most people even know exists. One thing you'll learn about me real quick is that I don't like sports. Don't like sports, but I love sports movies. And we've yet to tackle that in Movie Club yet for me. And 1996, there was a really funny movie that came out. And AJ, you know where I'm going with this, because we've already had this conversation. Obviously, you know I love wrestling, but I also enjoy the sweet science. And Peter Berg brought to life the characters of James, the Grim Reaper Roper, and Irish Terry Conklin in a wonderful little boxing movie called The Great White Hype. Just take a look at the supporting cast on this movie before you make your decision, viewers.
Chris, you gonna follow the trend?
Oh, more than you know. I wish I had a second one because I also was going to pick a Peter Berg sports movie. Ironically enough. But
Nice.
I was going to go with, since I've been watching the show, it's been a while since I've checked out the movie. So my pick for Movie Club is the film version of Friday Night Lights.
Nice.
What year was that? 05?
04 or 05.
04.
I will add in here right now, the show was fantastic.
Yeah, it was 2004.
So I hope mine has resonance, because we're coming up to the 10th anniversary. And like, right, what films that I like that one haven't been covered on the channel yet? Which every time it was like, oh, that shit. And then it all went back to pretty much the first 4 months, where the latest release was brought up, and there was a comparison of there was a versus with the original film in the series, and then I found the loophole and I didn't find any others covered, just the first one and the last one, and we meet at the middle. So my pick is 1995's Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Oh.
I
Very
can't
cool.
wait. I can't wait. I am so excited. Please don't vote for that next week or the next show, because I won't be here to talk about it and I'll be extremely sad.
Next, I can honestly say, other than mine, I have not seen any of these movies, and I'm very interested in all of them. So it's not like me dipping out like I am tomorrow. No, I'll be here for all these movie clubs.
Because I was trying to look back, and was like, oh, let's do Die Hard. AJ's already covered it, but wait, there's also other Die Hard films. And then by chance, it was like, I don't think it was like episode 1 of Versus, but it was one of the first ones, right?
Yeah, it was really early. Yeah.
It was very early.
And then
We were
I
still
think it was,
doing categories back then.
it was either a month before or after. What the fuck was it called? A Good Day to Die Hard.
Yeah, that's the fifth one. Yeah.
Yeah. It's extra confusing.
I'll just say right now,
you know,
if Die
4
Hard's
is
picked in 2 weeks, if Die Hard's picked in 2 weeks, I will film a video of myself talking about Die Hard with a Vengeance, and I'll send it to y'all to upload.
Morecontent.com. Let's go.
I just thought it was a sort of an interesting throwback.
Oh my God.
Depending on obviously what happens in terms of the next ones, because I'm guessing it'll get split up by chat selected one. Anyway, the poll is running. I need to grab my dinner.
I'm not gonna lie, I love this list. I can't wait to watch all these.
I'll just say I'm a little worried now that Ashley has picked a Die Hard movie because Movie Club is cursed. I've been intentionally avoiding Bruce Willis movies.
Dude, that's the same reason I almost went for a Nicholson movie today and I didn't.
We've killed so many people on this channel. I don't like it. We killed Jay Briscoe the other night, which doesn't make me happy.
You guys brought me in and I killed Kirstie Alley and Kevin Conroy.
Yes,
So I fit right in with everyone.
The irony of the fact that you killed Batman. Good job.
I know. I'm gonna have to take that with me forever.
Well, you are the biggest Joker mark I know, so it does make sense with your milieu. So there you go.
I still think one of the worst ones was when I did The Man Who Fell to Earth, and I even said in my video for The Man Who Fell to Earth, man, I really want to see Bowie in more movies. And I think it was like 2 days later we lost him.
Yep.
Oh.
Well, the only thing I would basically do right now is something that Hollywood already did, and that's kill Damon Wayans' career. So, poor guy.
He has a resurgence every now and then.
Every once in a while, he's doing like stand up again, which I'd love to see. But he goes to a place that is not easy to go to. God, we got a lot to talk about. I might just cut chat at 6:30 at this rate. All right. Look.
I was gonna say, do we just go ahead or do we wait for him or what?
Oh no, we're going ahead. Josie says, I know how much AJ loves, correction, hates, burst scenes and comedies. I noticed burst scenes and comedies tend to have a formula. There's the flight before, the water breaking, the big turning point conversation, the birth itself, and everyone together.
Yeah, it's
agrees.
It's yeah, it's a stain on the genre of comedy. I can't stand it.
There are some that are done well, though. One that I think of, I love the sequence in Father of the Bride Part 2 when Steve Martin's drugged out and they're trying to drag him to the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
But then again, that's Steve Martin. Steve Martin makes anything funny.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see him live. That's going to be freaking amazing.
You're getting him and Short, aren't you?
Yes, I certainly am.
Oh, man. I got Short back when I was in college, but I've never gotten Steve Martin. I am very jealous.
I'm whittling away at the bucket list of comedians. There's a few left that I really need to see. And I hate myself because the day that I went to California is the day that we lost Bob Saget.
Mm.
So I will never miss out on a comedy show that I can afford to go see again. Now, if it's somebody important, like Dan Whitney was here the other day, and I'm like, no. But I mean, only because I'm not a fan, but I mean, dude's getting an age. He's probably not going to be touring much longer, but I took that into consideration. I'm like, Do I really want to sit with a bunch of Dan Whitney fans? And my response is no. So I didn't. Brian says last 2010 movies I watched since last podcast. Leviathan, Inherent Vice, which completed 2014 Paradise Lost trilogy. And he needs to watch Paradise Lost 3 Purgatory. And The Broken Circle Breakdown, which AJ loves.
No, I don't.
Sarcasm.com. Brian says after seeing Inherent Vice, Whiplash should have won adapted screenplay. I don't have an issue with Inherent Vice winning because I love the movie, but Whiplash is the end be all for me that year.
The Imitation Game won that year.
Yeah. Why did he bring up Inherent Vice? Anyway.
Breaks down if it falls for Russell and JT Walsh.
Brian says final Oscar predictions are on his channel. It's correct. Spencer says, I just watched The Good Nurse. Geez, Eddie Redmayne, don't you bring Jessica Chastain down with you?
I come into that. I love it.
I love that guy.
Supporting actor nominated, but at the same time, what the fuck are you doing, Eddie?
I like that because Ashley's like upside down, like complaining right now. That's the greatest part.
I'm hanging from the rafters.
I still think it's great that I still think it's great I popped him by calling Ben Whishaw a bitch on here. So, and if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say why. But it's like,
I just love the fact that I'm just picturing Ben Whishaw as Paddington, and you just going to his face, bitch.
No, not in Paddington. Paddington's fine. I'm talking
That'd
about.
be so rude to do that to
Simple
Paddington.
Jack
He just
and
wants to
Women
give the world marmalade.
I'm talking about Simple Jack and Women Talking.
God.
I'm sorry. Those people need to be wearing overalls or like pro wrestlers in the 80s. Okay. Brian contest. Acting battles 2000 to 2021. Critics' Choice round 2. Did Masters Oscars as always. Won't count the ones that match with the Globes. Here's the rule. New rule for these games. Love these games. They're great. However, this is what we call snap response. No discussion, none necessary. Literally, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and everybody gives their answer. Done the party. And we are moving on. 2000. Supporting Frances McDormand in Almost Famous and Wonder Boys. Joaquin in Gladiator and Quills. 1, 2, 3.
Phoenix.
Probably Phoenix.
McDormand. Jennifer Connelly, 2001, supporting Beautiful Mind or Ben Kingsley and Sexy Beast. 1, 2, 3.
Haven't seen either.
That for me, that's Kingsley.
Kingsley.
Only he can say cunt. Kingsley.
Chris abstains. 2002, Julianne Moore, Far From Heaven. Daniel Day, Gangs of New York, or Jack Nicholson? 1, 2, 3.
Nicholson.
Ooh, you went against your boy.
Oh.
Day-Lewis magic on the screen, man.
You're not wrong. Especially big
magic.
I don't want to say more.
20. What?
I want to say more.
Okay, that's fair. 2004, Virginia Madsen. Thomas Hayden Church for Sideways. 1, 2, 3.
Church.
Yeah, I love her monologue, but I'm saying Church.
25.
Sandman.
I don't know. It tastes pretty good to me.
2005, Amy Adams, Junebug, Michelle Williams, Brokeback, Giamatti, Cinderella Man. 1, 2, 3.
Adams.
Williams is the only one I've seen.
Fair. Giamatti.
I'll probably say Williams.
I wanted to go Giamatti on principle, but that wouldn't be fair.
He's great in Cinderella Man. 2007, Amy Ryan, Javier Bardem. 1, 2, 3.
Bardem.
Bardem.
Call it Fred.
Exactly. Boy, 2008. Anne Hathaway, Rachel getting married. Meryl Streep, Doubt. Sean Penn, Milk. 1, 2, 3.
Street.
Street. Penn.
Everybody loves Meryl.
I'll barely say Penn.
I'll say Penn, but Mickey Rourke. 2009. Bullock, Street, Bridges. 1, 2, 3.
Bridges.
Bridges.
What was Street for again?
Doesn't say.
Julia and Julia.
Oh, yeah. Good
Oh,
point.
Jeff
2011.
Jeffrey.
2011. Viola Davis for the Help. Clooney. Doesn't say any. Which movie?
Descendants, I'm guessing.
Probably The Descendants.
Okay, fine. So, yeah, Viola Davis or Clooney. You put them together. That's why I'm confused. Clooney.
Clooney.
AJ.
No, I said Clooney.
Okay. 2012. Hathaway. Hoffman. 1, 2, 3.
For Hathaway for me. I know it's tough, but Hathaway.
Hoffman for what?
The Master. Yep.
Hathaway.
Hoffman. I like the movie more than anybody else here did.
Hathaway's a more impactful performance in that.
Fair. Moore or Keaton? 1, 2, 3.
I
Just
might
2014.
Yeah.
14.
I might have to say more, actually.
Overall, yeah, I agree. Chris.
Keaton.
I'd just edge it to more. They're both very good, though.
Okay. Vikander, Danish Girl, or Stallone? 1, 2, 3.
What
I've
was
only
that?
seen Stallone.
Say that again?
Vikander or Stallone?
Oh, Vikander.
Stallone.
I'll probably say Vikander, even though it's category fraud.
And a shit movie, but she's amazing in it.
Portman or Affleck? Casey. 2016.
I'm saying Portman.
Haven't seen either one, but I'll go with Portman on principle.
Hughes, because I see Glenn Close for 2018. Okay, it's a three-way. Glenn Close, Lady Gaga, Christian Bale. 1, 2, 3.
Bale.
Bale.
Yeah, probably give it to... no, I'd probably give it to Close.
Okay, 2020, Bakalova, Kaluuya. 1, 2,
Kaluuya.
3.
Kaluuya.
Get out!
Oh, this sucks. I don't like this one. Carrie Mulligan, Chadwick Boseman.
I haven't seen either one.
Oh, fuck.
I'm going with Mulligan. I may be biased as hell, but I'm going with Mulligan.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't like this one.
We got this far in without getting stuck.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Damn it. I think I gotta say Boseman, but that's hard.
I don't feel so
I'd
bad.
just about edge to Boseman, to be fair.
Well, I was going to go Carrie regardless because that's not my movie, but he's still solid in it. Okay, conversation over. Spencer Reed, welcome. Welcome to the dance, good sir. Favorite funeral scenes in movies?
Oh, God.
My mind immediately went to Man on the Moon.
Oh, God, yeah.
That's the first place my mind went, was Man on the Moon.
Man on the Moon and Clerks.
That's hard to say because favorite makes it sound like you enjoy it, but like the best funeral scenes are the ones that like kill you.
For just enjoyment, I'll say Scary Movie 3, but what I think is best is Man on the Moon.
Oh no, for comedy and enjoyment, Beer Fest.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one too.
As far as the ones like destroy me emotionally, like My Girl and Hardball are up there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Man on the Moon one is definitely at the top.
A walk to remember. For me, at least. Favorite death scenes?
Oh my god, that's
That's a loaded question, Spencer.
yeah. There's so many that come to mind. The very first one that comes to mind is Travolta and Broken Arrow. that's one of the most glorious. Oh man, I almost feel like that has to be narrowed down. That's very broad.
I'm trying to
I know
remember.
what I'm going to go with. It may not be a conventional answer. It might not even be my favorite, but it's my favorite I'm thinking of right now. When Schwarzenegger lowers himself down in T2.
That's a good one. Oh,
I only found it literally 3 days ago. The final scene of a film that came out in the Philippines called Blood Debts in the 80s that featured on Red Letter Media's Best of the Worst. This guy's just been shot in the back by the big villain, and he ripped away his sleeve to reveal, like, it looks sort of like a flare gun, but apparently it's got a rocket inside, and it's on like a draw runner on his thing to slide it into his hand. He fires it, it goes, the guy like blasts into a million pieces, and then it says, Mark, age 45, immediately handed himself to the police. He is now serving a life sentence. And then the credits roll.
that's what that movie is.
That's the best death in
I've
all
seen
of
that.
them. It comes from
Also,
out of nowhere and then just has a bit of text saying he is serving a life sentence.
I have two more shout outs, a kind of serious one and an over the top one. My serious one's also over the top though. That's Michael Wincott in The Crow has an amazing death. And what's the Van Damme Dennis Rodman movie where Mickey Rourke
Double Impact?
Double team.
Double Team, that's it.
Yeah, double team.
Where it's like he's getting ready to explode and he's like getting attacked by animals at the same time.
I hate this scene. And I can't say necessarily it's a favorite death scene, but it's a death scene that has stuck with me forever. When Jason Lee gets sucked into the airplane turbine as Syndrome in The Incredibles.
Nice.
Freaking hate that scene so much. I'm sorry, I was rooting for Syndrome. I'm a Jason Lee mark. What do you expect?
I'll also give a shout out to Hitler and Bastards.
Oh God, yes.
And just that whole scene, just in general, the Nazis and Bastards, particularly the climax.
AJ, since we reference it so much, I'm surprised you didn't say Training Day.
That's a good one too. Yeah.
Oh, I noticed the mic isn't working again. I would also shout out Edward Woodward in Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
With the mine.
And then it happens essentially during the epilogue.
Yeah.
Favorite acting screen partners?
Favorite what? You cut out there.
Favorite acting screen partners?
Is this like a Bogart Bacall kind of question, or just like in general?
That's how I took it. That's how I took it.
I mean, would Newman and Woodward be too obvious?
No.
Acting partners.
Honestly, I'm just gonna cut off the middleman. Just go with Ewan and Kidman.
I'm gonna go non-romantic and say, just for enjoyment purposes, Affleck and Damon.
Oh yeah, that's a very good one.
Now that Ashley's brought it up, we can't really not say Peg and Frost.
Steve Martin and Martin Short have to be up there too.
Kevin.
think who's. I mean, I can't remember the Western guys. Bud and Terrence. Is it them?
That sounds right, yeah.
Bud Hill and Terrence something.
I thought you had a name wrong. You were trying to think of Terrence and Phillip.
No. No, it's those
Yeah,
guys
I
that were
got
in
that
those
vibe
sort
too.
of like Italian westerns that got dubbed into sort of American, that like did God knows how well in America in the 70s, because they just wanted more, you know.
Yeah, yeah, Terrence Hill and Bud Spencer.
That's it.
Yeah.
They even did a blooming video game that's on Steam, that's like a sort of Metal Slug style sort of 2D side scroller beat 'em up thing.
All right, we are continuing. Oh, here's a tough one for Spencer. Favorite Tom Cruise stunt?
Everybody for Rogue Nation, everybody talked about the plane. I thought the underwater shit was more impressive. That was wild.
Depends on if you're afraid of heights or afraid of drowning.
Yeah.
But back to the other question, I'll just say one thing. AJ, I'm surprised you didn't throw out Hepburn and Spencer Tracy.
Oh, Jesus. Because the most obvious ones are the ones you look over.
I don't know. It's pretty cool to know that he did a lot of the stunts in Top Gun. That's
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick. I think I'll go with that. That's probably recency bias, but I'll go with that for now.
Yeah, because it's also hard to not say him running down the building in Ghost Protocol.
That's my answer.
Though him sliding down the building in Mission Impossible 3 always got me too. I don't know if that was when he really started doing everything like for real or not, but that scene looks real.
I'm trying to remember whether he did all that stuff at the start of Mission Impossible 2. I'm trying to remember if that was him.
I'm sure it was.
Because that's what I would have said. I know it wasn't like him going from an explosion in Mission Impossible 1, because that CGI was terrible.
He only just said he would do it. We never actually got to see him do it. I would have loved to have seen him drop kick the dogs in Magnolia. That would have been a great story.
Nice.
Also, to be fair, the best stunt he did was the old-fashioned rock and roll slide. Because I've tried that twice while sober, and I still fall on my face. I don't know how he did it.
Well, that's a way to transition out of this question. Favorite indie animated movie?
Oh God, what qualifies?
I did some research on this real quick, and
Is like Wolfwalkers one?
yes,
That's, like
That would.
that's probably my answer, even though I'm not sure what else we have here.
Is Klaus Indy?
it's Klaus Indie.
I want to say they were made and then Netflix picked them up.
So would that make it indie?
I don't know. It's talking about I Lost My Body being indie, which was the same year, but it doesn't say that for Klaus. It says it only says it was distributed by Netflix, so it could have been.
Would Fantastic Mr. Fox count? I know it got distributed by Fox, but like.
I saw that listed, but I'm not sure if it counts or not.
Yeah.
That's a great answer, though.
I mean, I guess I can't go wrong with the original Wallace and Gromit short films. I'd say they're pretty good.
I'm going to go with Mary and Max.
Nice.
I like Mary and Max a lot, actually.
I remember I feel like we discovered it almost by accident when we saw it.
Favorite shootout scene in a movie?
Candyland is up there. The Candyland shootout, not a movie version of Candyland that weirdly has a shootout in it.
I'd say Reservoir
I would
Dogs is up
watch
there.
the hell out of that.
Reservoir Dogs is definitely up there.
You know what shootout I was rewatching the other day? The one at the end of Grosse Point Blank.
Oh, nice.
That's a really good one.
Very good.
Honestly, I think I have an actual favorite. Believe it or not.
Go ahead.
All the shootouts in the world. I know we'd be remiss if we didn't bring up Heat, obviously.
Sure.
Heat's like everybody's go-to answer. I think genuinely my favorite shootout of all time is the climax of True Romance. It's just so fucking messy and everybody's expendable.
I'm gonna go with the climax of Hot Fuzz,
That's good.
and not just for the comedy aspect. I think it's very well done too.
Yeah.
Practically the entirety of Hard Boiled.
Oh yeah. I was just thinking, I have it stuck in my head now. I can't remember what Peg's one-liner is, but I love the moment in the Hot Fuzz shootout when Peg uses one of his one-liners and Frost just says, "Yeah, motherfucker."
Nice.
I'm trying to remember what. I don't think it's the fascist hag bit.
I think it's close to that.
I thought it was fascism.
Oh no, it's when the doctor comes out with the shotgun and manages to shoot himself in the foot. And I think he's like,
Yeah.
"You're a doctor, walk it off." And he's like, "Yeah, I think it's that bit." Like,
Yeah, that sounds right.
Chat will be cut off in 10 minutes.
Hey, Jay, aren't you glad that mystery's solved now?
Josie says to Spencer, one I forgot to mention, I watched Nocturne on Thursday, a Dream World themed animated movie. Spencer says, added to my watch list.
Yeah, same.
Very good. It's always good to bring our chat together to learn about new forms of cinema. Oh, this is an interesting one. Least favorite thing about your favorite director?
Have an answer to this, but it doesn't have to do with his directing so much as his writing. Does that count?
Yeah, totally.
I feel like the beginnings of all of, like, the first scenes of all of Tarantino's movies do feel like, I mean, I guess you could say it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's like, it does remind me of, we kind of talked about this when we talked about The Hateful Eight, and I had trouble wording it then too. Like especially when you think about the opening scene of The Hateful Eight and the opening scene of Django, where it's almost like he's aware how unique his dialogue is, and he's trying to emulate himself, maybe a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, it's always opening scenes. It's never really anywhere else. Something like that is the closest I can get to a criticism.
Ashley, who's your favorite, and what is their foible?
It seems harsh to say, but I need to say The World's End.
Ooh, interesting.
it probably didn't help that me and a whole bunch of other people went to a triple bill of the Cornetto trilogy, culminating with the midnight release of it. And like, Sean we were really into, Hot Fuzz we were really into, and sort of, it was good, but it just didn't feel like it was a strong finale. It didn't feel like it was, we need a fourth Cornetto flavor or something to like do a proper send off. If that, maybe we never got his a vision of Ant-Man for whatever reason. And if it, my other favorite probably evenly would be Danny Boyle. So in that respect, I'd say Yesterday. I wasn't that enamored with it. I really want to know why he left Bond 25. Whether it was just on the purpose of what happens at the end of Bond 25, or No Time to Die as it eventually became. I don't know.
Chris, favorite director, and what is their mistake?
Favorite director is hard, but I probably overall have to go with Tim Burton. And I think his biggest mistake is there's a lot of times that he focuses on being too weird instead of telling a good story.
That's fair.
I think there's a reason. As much as I love Batman Returns, the studio was more involved with Batman '89, and I think there's something to correlate there between that movie having the better reception.
Obviously, everyone knows my favorite. If you watched my that 4-hour video the other night that we did with our personal lineups, everybody knows Kevin Smith is my absolute favorite director, and deservingly so. I wish he'd go out more on a limb, because I feel when he actually does things that are outside his comfort zone, he excels. Because he puts everything into what he does so much that, if correct, he can't fail. He may not make $1 billion, but he's gonna make an impact with someone.
Yeah, Tusk and Red State.
Tusk was great. I love Tusk. Love Red State. He needs to do more horror.
I would almost say, like when you were first talking about him going out of his comfort zone, I took that as like straight drama.
I would love to see him tackle things that he's never done before. Drama would be great. Like something that has no comedic nature to it whatsoever.
Because some of his strongest stuff in his whole filmography up to this point is the stuff in Chasing Amy that's not comedic.
100%. We need another Chasing Amy. Or something like it. I would like that.
I'll go ahead and take this moment to say what I've always said, because I just feel like you can't say it enough. Still, my favorite movie of his is Dogma.
Sure.
Is because there's just no other movie like Dogma.
No, there's not.
Like, there's not even anything to compare it to or come close to. It is its own unique... It's like one of the most original movies I've ever seen.
It's its own thing.
And... Thanks, Harvey.
So, oh God, Spencer, why are you doing this to me? Favorite magic scene in a movie? You don't realize how difficult this is for me, Spencer.
I'm going to go the first time that Bale does the transported man trick in The Prestige. Because Hugh Jackman sells the hell out of it.
Yeah, I like the... I like the sequence in... I don't know if this counts or not. I like the sequence in The Prestige when they're trying to... They're like using their own examples and trying to decipher how the fishbowl trick is done. It's like, I think when we did our video on that, I even said I'd watch a whole movie that was just them trying to figure out other people's tricks.
The one I like from Prestige is the one you see pretty much early on at the start with the ball, and then purposefully doing the trick wrong to do the actual trick of him getting out of his chains and chaining up the prison guard.
Owen, what's your favorite scene from The Prestige?
Dude, I'm telling you, with The Prestige, it's like I'm the magic guy. I have been for years. Obviously, meeting Penn and Teller was like the biggest thing I will ever do in my life when it comes to a bucket list item, and I will forever treasure it. Even so, that it actually makes me show a picture of me when I was bigger, just because I have a picture of me with Penn Jillette, and that's all I needed in life. I wanted the double, and maybe someday I'll get it. See, one of the funny things is they did this little gimmick where on YouTube where they had magicians like critique the magic scenes in movies.
Yep.
And they had David Copperfield tear apart the Now You See Me, which I thought that was great. Loved every second. I like Now You See Me, but I mean, I understand why it's what it is.
Hasn't Penn done one of those videos too?
Oh, heck yeah, he has. 100%. I will say right now, The Prestige, when it comes to a magic movie, honestly, you can't go wrong with any scene. So my answer is, honestly, that movie is so perfect when it comes to magic scenes. There's really nothing. In a tongue-in-cheek way, I would go with the Siegfried and Roy scene in Vegas Vacation. Where they show up basically on all fours like they're tigers at the end. Love that. That's awesome. Or I could be completely like transparent and just say, like the magic scenes in Penn and Teller get killed. I could do that too.
Yeah.
Easily. And I'm going to. Because that stuff's great. And I love every second of it. That's the reason why it's a movie club pick. And that's the reason why I'm a magic mark. Josie says, can I count Matilda blowing up the TV as a magic scene?
If I can count the Joker pencil trick as a magic scene.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, when the question was first asked, my first thought was, is real magic a part of this as well? But
yeah. Now, that's funny you mentioned because Potter. Movies with wizards.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I would count Matilda, so yeah, we can count real magic.
That's fair. Brian mentioning Riz Ahmed and Allison Williams announcing the nominations Tuesday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. 3 guys. 3 different videos. Be there, everyone. Took the day off work for this. Let's go.
Have they only put Riz on because he can't win anything this year?
Yes. Oh, Spencer Reed says favorite Potter villain outside of Voldemort.
Umbridge.
Oh, she's a great heel.
I wanted to stab that bitch.
Yeah, but I can't say anything, Chris, because one of the things I really enjoyed is she was walk around Hogwarts and break the couples up. I love that. That was awesome. That made me happy. So it's like, it's hard to go.
What was it you used to always say about Jason Voorhees fighting the good fight?
Jason Voorhees fights the good fight, kills all the couples. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I haven't said that in years. I don't think I've ever said it on here before. Favorite Potter villain.
Does the Basilisk count? Or is that like an extension of Voldemort?
You goddamn right it counts. Holy crap, yeah, it counts. I can't sleep because of seeing that stupid thing. I can't watch Chamber of Secrets. That's a shoot.
The thing that always creeped me out the most was the whole thing about do you just have to see it to be petrified, or is it like an eye contact thing? I can't remember.
It's an eye contact thing because everybody else everybody else locks up just because they see him through like another perspective. That's how they were able to fix like the water and the mirror.
Yeah, that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, if you want to talk about human, Draco's on that list too.
Yeah, I was actually thinking Jason Isaacs before him, but yeah.
They should say Jason Isaacs. But
Dude, I would say Jason Isaacs, but I think Jason Isaacs is a much better villain than the Patriot.
Chris, were you in the theater that night when the Patriot just straight up broke?
No, that was
10
before
o'clock
my
and there was a
time.
thunderstorm, and all of a sudden, like the projector just like died.
No, that was before my time.
God, that was right before we're watching the Patriot, and then all of a sudden, I heard this huge clash of lightning, and the next thing you know, it's like death, nothing, dead silence. And I'm like, they literally had to get flashlights to give people emergency tickets.
Like when we saw Magic Mike,
Yeah, exactly.
that storm ended the world.
Storm, the end of the world, was watched because of Magic Mike.
Now, granted, that at least had the decency that it was during Magic Mike's end credits that the power finally went out, but still.
No, it was literally with like 15 minutes left of the Patriot. All of a sudden, like we're like watching it and everything. It's like, yeah, rah rah rah, come on, Mel Gibson. Next thing you know, crash, and then like nothing. This is what the podcasts are for. Me telling these random anecdotes. May 1st, ladies and gentlemen, get ready.
Oh man, Mother Nature's a red coat.
Oh. Josie says, I did some research what movies get wrong about doctors. BuzzFeed article listing samples from doctors and nurses. Okay, let me go into this. People can't be reanimated with defibrillators once they have been flatlined. It's like always shown in movies. If your heart stopped, only drugs will kickstart it back. Affairs aren't as prevalent among doctors as TV would have you believe. During residency, no one's having sex in the call room. They're too tired. Someone's not breathing or doesn't have a heartbeat. CPR doesn't bring them back to life magically. Keeps the organ somewhat alive until the person can be resuscitated with a professional, drugs. And people waking up from long comas with no neurological damage. Yeah, they just open their eyes and hop right up, raring to go. Nope, in reality, you'd be atrophied severely, having a brain damage and months of rehab. Suck the venom out? I'm not even a doctor, and I know that's wrong. EMTs never run to the emergency room when they do visit the ER. They slowly walk in with a 450-pound dialysis patient or an intoxicated college student on the stretcher. Interesting, Josie. Favorite murderous kid in a movie? The Good Son?
Yeah, that's the first one that comes to mind.
Always is.
Can I say Pet Cemetery?
Yes, you
Oh,
can.
yeah.
The kid still creeps me out to this day. Fuck you, Gage.
I want to say Bloody Birthday, but it just pisses me off so much that kid barely got a comeuppance. I really wanted to see that kid die. Yeah, and like almost nothing happened to him.
I don't remember what I've seen recently where I actually wanted to watch the kid die because he's done so many bad things. But there was something I saw recently. I'm like, yeah, die. Notable CPR scenes. Sandlot in the Abyss, says Josie. Spencer Reed says Friday the 13th getting a movie with Sean S. Cunningham returning as director.
okay.
And the OG Final Girl, Adrienne King, returning as well.
Is that a real thing?
Yes. Oh, it totally is.
Oh god.
That's how we're getting Jason back again for the first time since 25.
This is the reason why that
oh,
killer
God.
puzzle game had to die. God damn it.
Shows like Grey's Anatomy show 5 doctors coming to rescue when stuff goes down. In reality, 5 nurses run in to help the show until one doctor comes from wherever they were. Josie, come on. How long have you been watching this channel? Favorite snake skin in a scene in a movie? I abstain.
What's the question?
Favorite snake scene in a movie? Like asking AJ favorite vomit scene in the movie.
We've gotten that question before.
But I guess this is my comeuppance now, isn't it?
I still haven't.
Oh, any good snake scene is a dead snake scene, Josie. I hate snakes. Trying to think of a good one for me though. There's got to be one.
Oh, we've already talked about our first movie club. The one in the player sticks out.
Yeah, it does. Thanks for telling me. I appreciate that.
I'll answer mine. I'll answer mine with a quote. Why don't I show you how snake-like I can be?
I was wondering when you were going to say
That's
it.
coming to mind. I wanted to see if I had an actual answer to this.
Fuck
Yeah,
that snake in the Sega Genesis game too.
I didn't have a Sega. I had a
Not
SNES. I beat that
Not
game.
enough apples in the world to throw at that asshole.
I beat that game like a drum, and it was the hardest game for me to beat because I literally had to fight an animated snake on the screen. You know how long it took me to beat that game? Just because of that? God, I couldn't even use my whip to beat them in Adventure Island back in the day.
There's the scene where Beetlejuice turns into a snake.
Can't watch it. Can't watch any of these scenes, Josie. Kill Bill Volume 2, Chamber of Secrets, Raiders.
Yeah, Kill Bill Volume 2 is definitely up there. I agree with my brother. I think the climax of Aladdin would have to be up there.
That might be one of the last ones I could actually watch without like. No, I have to watch all snake scenes like this.
The real life filming of Live and Let Die.
Yeah.
Oh, Live and Let Die is good too.
Jeffrey Holder has an absolute he's absolutely scared of snakes.
God.
So they get Princess Anne to do a visit, and because he's such a loyal royalist, he just jumps into the coffin no matter what's in there.
And we move on. Favorite Daryl Hannah performance?
Mine probably has to be L Driver. I think not just because
Sure.
not just because it's Kill Bill, but also just how out of left field that performance and that kind of character is for Daryl Hannah. That kind of came from out of nowhere when you look at the rest of her roles.
Very true. We have an answer for everyone else in the chat.
I'm trying to think.
I'm trying to decide between L Driver and Splash
That's a good one.
because she really does a good job conveying innocence and not knowing what the hell's going on in Splash.
True.
She kind of has that in Steel Magnolias as well.
Yeah, she's definitely got a great deer in the headlights look. Maybe that's how L Driver worked. They took away one of the eyes from the deer in headlights look.
Just to say something different, I'd go Blade Runner. Because she starts the ball rolling in Blade Runner.
Even though I'm not a Blade Runner fan, I almost brought up Blade Runner for death scenes for Rutger Hauer. Because that's like the one scene in that movie that I care for.
Time to die.
Maggie Smith. Favorite Maggie Smith performance? Non-Potter related.
Probably the Prime of Miss Jean Brodie, probably.
I haven't seen enough Maggie Smith performances to have an opinion, but I will say that her performance in Hook made me believe that she died about 20 years ago and didn't.
I'm gonna go with Sister.
I'm trying to remember the. Is it? No. Is it? I'm trying. Private? No, not Private Function. The one.
Yeah, it is.
No, I'm trying to think of the one. Yeah, the one with the pig. Yeah. That's the one.
Yeah, Private Function.
Now that you bring it up, she is genuinely good in Hook because she has to act so much older than she actually was, convincingly, and the way she expresses fear in the scenes where Hook is like coming back and she can feel it are really effective.
I feel like if they wanted a female M and couldn't get Judi Dench, Maggie Smith would have filled that role really well.
Fair.
Yeah.
I just imagine her, Mr. Bond.
I find it interesting none of us brought up Downton Abbey.
Best Exotic Marigold Hotel comes to mind too.
Yeah.
Another underrated movie I enjoyed. I wonder. Spencer says, "Wonder if Tarantino will just write the movies that other people direct, like he did at the beginning of his career."
I mean, for the most part, it worked out well then too.
Accurate. Like staying on top of everything. Favorite Jim Sheridan film?
In America.
Ashley?
I really hope somebody says Get Rich or Die Poor.
What other movies has he done?
In the Name of the Father, The
Yeah.
Boxer.
My Left Foot.
Oh, yeah. Most Daniel Day-Lewis movies.
Oh, my answer is
That's the
Brothers.
ones I know.
My answer is Brothers.
I mean, it's not one of his best films, but I did not realize that the guy who brought us In the Name of the Father and My Left Foot also brought us Get Rich and Die Trying.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you've seen any of his movies, come to think of it.
Yeah, that's the only one that comes to my mind.
What was it that you said?
Brothers
I don't think I ever saw Brothers.
with Toby and Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw it.
Oh my god, I forgot that was his. You didn't happen to see Dream House with Daniel Craig, did you?
No.
That's pretty much all of them.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Well, I
my
guess I couldn't stay.
no, actually, it wasn't because the question was only for Ashley and AJ.
Ah.
No.
Specifically, Josie asked for both of them. The only reason I had an answer is because I like Brothers.
But yeah, I would definitely. I mean, I love In the Name of the Father. In the Name of the Father actually needs a rewatch, but like off the top of my head, I really love In America. Really stuck with me. So.
Favorite Nancy Meyers movie? Spencer asked.
Probably actually The Parent Trap. I feel like most of her stuff is kind of overrated. Well, no, it's I really like It's Complicated a lot.
I'll go with It's Complicated.
The
Steve
Holiday.
Martin.
So, brother, I don't know if we always talk about my opinion. Have you ever really said what you think of Something's Gotta Give? Being
I think
the.
it's okay.
What's that?
I think it's okay. I think it definitely feeds into the Jack and Diane gimmick.
Yeah, and Nancy Meyers has a Judd Apatow problem. Her movies are always overlong. I think every single one, almost every single one of them breaks 2 hours, don't they? When they really, none of them need to.
I think so.
I'd probably say Jumpin' Jack Flash, although she was only a writer on it. If you want to go on director front, I'd probably go What Women Want.
I love The Holiday.
I forgot The Holiday was hers. That's right.
Holiday
I
hits
just-
home in a lot of
I
different
just
ways.
rewatched it right around Christmas, and it still holds up. I still like it.
Yeah.
Jude
The Dead-
Law is perfectly charming in that movie.
The dead don't die, says Spencer. Josie says, favorite password cracking hacking scene in a movie or TV show? Swordfish.
Are you saying Swordfish sarcastically?
Yeah, very much so.
One of
Can
my-
we? Go ahead.
I was gonna say one of my favorite videos on YouTube. I don't know if it's still up or not, but somebody made a video that is the hacking scene from Swordfish, but on the screen it looks like he's playing the PS1 game for Harry Potter.
That's fan freaking tastic.
Can I count the combination of my luggage seen in Spaceballs.
The first thing that came to mind for me is the Boris scenes in Goldeneye.
Yeah.
Isn't he hacking into something when towards the end when he's doing the pen, but he doesn't realize he has the explosive one?
Hmm.
That's an amazing use of tension.
I'm Ashley. You got an answer? Are you still finishing your food?
Speaking of tension, Gumball's safe in On Her Majesty's Secret Service. It's probably because of just John Barry's score over the top of it, or the fact that he just gets the safe cracker from out of a cement tub thing from the building site over the road. But then it's also, it's sort of getting everything packed away and somehow getting out with the Playboy, of course, before the guy gets back in his office. That's very well done.
I'm surprised with your movie club pick you didn't say the first Die Hard.
It's already been covered. I know it's... I know it's because AJ covered it, I didn't want to sort of bring it up again.
No, I meant
if
the
need
hacking scene. Like whenever the FBI turns off the power.
I got that.
I'm going with Ocean's 11. Spencer says, I thought you said Jarmusch. My bad. Have you heard of you're talking about this this whole thing going on with Andrea Riseborough for To Leslie? You heard about this? We want to talk about this. She's trying to get a write-in votes for Best Actress.
She's pulling a Melissa Leo.
Basically.
Oh.
Josie asks, if she does actually get nominated, do you think it will set precedent for future grassroots Oscar campaigns not needing to have millions of dollars?
No.
I wouldn't count on this happening, Andrew.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm an outsider, and I feel like that if something like that did happen, the first thing the Academy would do is find a way to shut it down.
I mean,
petitions don't work 9 times out of 10.
You'd have thought she'd have wanted to sort of do it at BAFTA. More so. Unless BAFTA has more sort of things where that sort of stuff would be prevented. I don't know.
The best time to try something like this would have been 2020 when options were limited. But I don't know why you would try this in a year where Best Actress is already as packed as it is.
No lie. And we are moving. What?
For attention.
There we go. Movie tree. What would you rather climb, says Josie? Toad tree from Pans, the Whomping Willow from Potter, or the weird tree in that first Jurassic Park? Hi, Cassie.
Well, I can't even stand on a stepping stool without freaking out, so I'm going to have to abstain from this one.
Out of those three, I don't know. I would say Forrest Gump's tree because they sat up there plenty of times and it never broke, so that feels pretty safe.
That's not in the conversation, Chris. Pan's Labyrinth, Harry Potter, Jurassic Park.
Hey, it's a grassroots campaign. He's doing Forrest Gump as a write-in.
Even Anne Frank can see this is not going to work.
Out of those options, I'll go with Jurassic Park because the worst that happened was they got snotted, and I get that every day from my cat, so I'll go with that.
Fair. Ashley.
Yeah, it's the only one that isn't alive. But what I'd go with that one, but I would also want to say any of the Ents from the Lord of the Rings things.
I would like the credit from riding the Whomping Willow, but dangerous as all get out. So yeah, Jurassic Park wins.
I want to watch somebody try to attempt this with the Wizard of Oz trees.
We're getting there. Don't worry. It's coming. Spencer Reed says 45 years had a good campaign.
Yeah.
Oh, Charlotte Rampling was nominated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Josie's talking about fights between trees. Let's effing go. Groot or Evil Dead's possessed tree?
Groot, he's got heart.
I wouldn't mess with Evil Dead, good
Yeah,
sir.
I think Groot's about to get. I think Groot's about to get himself assaulted.
Yeah.
Hold on. Which Groot are we talking about? Baby Groot, teenage Groot, or normal Groot?
Simply just says Groot. So
If it was adult Groot, he would just take in the Evil Dead tree smiling and say, "We are Groot," and then the Evil Dead tree would freak out and run away.
now I got a feeling he's got a one-way ticket to getting touching his Mark Vincent. So there you go. I knew AJ would love that.
I mean, that's how you get new species of trees, though. So technically, Groot wins.
That is fair. The Ents from Lord of the Rings or the apple trees in the Wizard of Oz?
Is this a hand-to-hand fight, or are the Wizard of Oz trees using their apples?
It doesn't say. All bets are off. It's a fight.
I'll go with the Ents because even if the Wizard of Oz trees use their apples, they're gonna run out of ammo.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And those apples aren't what they ought to be.
And the Ents are big as fuck.
Yeah. Backyard tree.
I just thought of something. If Groot was possessed by the Evil Dead tree, you could have an interesting like Spider-Man and the Symbiote story with Groot,
Oh, that'd be wild.
wouldn't it?
Somebody needs to at least make that a comic.
I mean, we've got Sam Raimi and Marvel. It's not like these things are mutually exclusive.
Dear God, what have we done?
Make it happen, Kevin Feige.
Josie says backyard tree and poltergeist or Grandma Willow from Pocahontas.
Poltergeist, Grandma Willow's getting slapped up. Grandma Willow don't have a prayer.
Thank you for not going with the tree from Sinister. I appreciate that
Oh God.
greatly. Josie says in the 300s of One Piece, Ashley is the only one here who understands my love for this series.
I know people are into One Piece, and
Josie.
and I respect that.
Ashley, in your very limited knowledge of One Piece, who'd win in a fight, Luffy or Paul Atreides? Or Luffy versus Floyd?
I mean, I'd say Luffy because he's the protagonist.
Okay.
And if the protagonist dies, that sort of ruins the story.
Jabber test would be called the Gum Gum Jabber, and he'd fight a sandworm. Spencer chimes in with a very odd statement. The Odd Life of Timothy Green. Odd movie. With a tree boy. Jennifer Garner was good, though. Spencer, did you just write a freaking haiku? Because that's what it seems like to me.
I was sitting over here waiting for an opponent for Timothy Green.
Nope. Oh, boy. Here we go. It's time. Buy one, rent one, lose one. Chinese New Year edition. Same thing as always, everyone. Only the ones that are mentioned are brought up. Kung Fu Panda, Crouching Tiger, Big Trouble Little China, Mulan, Crazy Rich Asians, The Golden Child, Police Story, Shanghai Noon, Shanghai Nights, The Wong Work Y, Car Y, take a shot, box set.
No Shang-Chi?
Not listed.
Damn it. Damn it.
Okay.
My
So,
go-to.
obviously for me, Big Trouble in Little China is out.
Yeah.
Crouching Tiger's at the top. You know, honestly, what my second one is?
Probably Nights.
Oh, I hope it's what I think it is.
Say that again, Owen.
Nooner Nights.
Nights.
Yes.
I love Shanghai Nights.
I know you do. I watched it with you, if I remember correctly. All right. Do we have one for Chris?
I'll get rid of one of the ones I haven't seen, which would be Big Trouble in Little China or Crouching Tiger, which I know is a shame. I need to catch up. But if I want and rent one, I will buy Shanghai Nights and I will rent the animated Mulan.
Ashley.
Oh no.
We can't hear you. Clap, 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 clap.
Deadair.com. It's coming though. Since I'll go ahead and I'll break tradition and go ahead because Ashley is busy with the situation. I'm going to lose Kung Fu Panda. Never been a fan. Never been a fan of Kung Fu Panda. I will rent Mulan because I don't think I've given it enough watches in my life. And yeah, I will also buy Shanghai Nights.
Oh man, it's looking like a clean sweep for Shanghai Nights.
I would
What a
buy.
glorious day.
I would buy Crouching Tiger. I would rent Police Story. And I'd get rid of Mulan.
Interesting.
Oh man,
Not-
those Shanghai Nights. You should have stayed muted.
No. I really like Mulan, but I'm only getting rid of it because then they won't have to do a live action unnecessary remake.
Man, that's
My
good
only
logic.
You're good. Jennifer Garner has a Best Supporting Actress nomination in her, says Spencer Reed. And you never know. Josie, okay, it's time. Bring up an archaeological expedition movie starring Schwarzenegger, DeVito, Gene Triplehorn, Quinta Brunson, Hamish Patel, Janelle Monáe, and Asia Kate Dillon. Cool.
Oh man, I only know the first three people.
Well, I might be mistaken here. Asia Dillon, was she the adjudicator in John Wick 3?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh. When you first started, my first thought was an Encino Man type situation where they dig up Danny DeVito. That's as far as I got.
I was thinking maybe Danny DeVito is like a recluse that lives in the area where they found like the findings of the archaeological dig, and he's convinced that something's going to happen because he's superstitious.
He's kind of like Woody Harrelson in 2012 a little bit. I can see that.
National Treasure 3. I ain't seen the TV series or whether it's any good.
Since I haven't seen Quinta Brunson outside of Abbott Elementary, all I can imagine is her being the sort of like naive, optimistic one that's really trying to do her best and nobody's paying attention to her. But that's all I can imagine. I really don't know.
Spencer Reed says, favorite spider scene in a movie outside of Spider-Man?
Home Alone.
Yeah.
Without hesitation, Home Alone.
Home Alone would have to be up there. The climax of Gremlins 2 would have to be up there.
Yeah.
3 words. Wild, Wild West. All mine come with a tinge of humor, so you're good on that.
I love the scene when the spiders come out in Jumanji and Robin Williams is stuck in the floor.
I was just thinking that.
I'm trying to work out whether I say the obvious ones being Spider or Eight-Legged Freaks, because that shouldn't be as good as it is.
Favorite volcano scene in a movie?
I just watched Fire of Love this week. That's that should be there.
Anyone else have an
Any movie I've seen is Dante's Peak.
I was gonna say, are there any good movies with volcanoes in them? Come to think of it.
Nemo?
I
Don't
want to use that
count.
answer.
Ring of Fire, ladies and gentlemen. I find loopholes. That's what I do.
Yeah, we'll do the Ring of Fire scene from Nemo.
Josie got one piece
Pull that
keychain.
out of your ass, and I'm so glad you did.
Darn right, good sir. That's what I do. I find loopholes for answers that I do not have. Favorite animal attack scenes in a movie?
Well, the Revenant's up there, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Man, I've already played this card, but I gotta go with the bear scene in Prey.
Wish I had a more unique answer, but I'm like just blanking suddenly.
Yeah, the Revenant makes sense to me.
I was trying to think of a dog attack scene, like outside of something like the one in Django is like so harrowing. I don't even want to say it. It's like
Cujo.
Well, oh yeah.
Brian says, so I have to watch the first two Die Hard movies to get vengeance.
I mean, I would say one, but they pretty much sum up everything.
I would say that, yeah, I mean, they sum it up, and I mean, you could watch the other two to kind of get John McClane's personality, but you get it pretty early on anyway.
If I remember correctly, 2 is not necessary at all.
No.
Yeah.
It could literally just go 1 and 3.
Which is a shame because Bill Sadler's a great villain.
Yeah.
Spencer says, I freaking love Friday Night Lights, Chris. Good movie.
As long as you get the basic gist of what happens in 1, as in Hans Gruber and everything, you're sorted with 3, I would say.
Yeah, there's a scene in Die Hard with a Vengeance where they just straight up fill you in on what you would need to know.
Oh, I'll let you take these. Favorite scene in Serial Mom?
Oh my god, there's so many. I love the prank calls. I love the scene where the dude is testifying and she's like moving her legs under the table. Justin Whalen's death scene, the whole car chase, the really over-the-top sex scene, the whole movie. Just the movie. That movie.
Does anyone else want to chime in before we go to the next one?
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
I've seen it, but I can't tell. It's been way too long.
An amazing ending. So just literally the whole movie.
I watched it on Action pay-per-view back in the day. Favorite scene in Casino?
Oh man. I would have thought one would immediately come to mind, but the whole movie moves so quickly.
Yeah, I can't remember like one scene that stood out. I just remember the whole thing being good.
Yeah, because it's the whole flow of it. I love the blueberry bit. I love the James Woods scenes.
I was gonna go James Woods as well.
Though it's still annoying to me that his comeuppance wasn't filmed.
The opening credits for me. Because
Yeah.
get the bait and switch.
I'll go ahead. Even though what immediately follows is one of my least favorite scenes in movie history because I can't watch it. I can't watch the brutality of it. The cornfield. The House of Rising Sun death montage, probably. So honorable mention to when the helicopter is this is Casino, right? Not Goodfellas. The scene where the helicopter is circling them so much that they has to land because they run out of gas, and you just see them running away. I'm pretty sure that was Casino.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd say my actual answer is the House of the Rising Sun montage.
Favorite and most realistic first date scene in a movie? I'm going 500 Days of Summer.
The ones that come to mind are the movies that are like where the first date is the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like that movie Tom Noonan directed. He wrote and directed. Um, you know what I actually thought was really charming in a movie that's whole point is that it's not very charming?
What's that?
Do you guys remember Love Stinks with French Stewart and Bridget Wilson?
Yes.
And how she says that she doesn't fuck on the first date. So they go through like a power run of like 3 dates in one night. I don't know why that's what came to mind first, but I think that's a kind of a charming scene, even though it's they're just trying to get to bed kind of thing. But yeah.
Actually, no. Silver Linings Playbook's a better answer for me. That's very realistic.
What do you consider? Do you consider the first date when they go to the diner and he orders the Raisin Bran and she freaks out?
Yes, AJ, I do.
Punch Drunk Love.
That's good. I like that. A movie not enough people have seen.
I'll go with Steve Carell and Catherine Keener's first date in 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Funny you mentioned Steve Carell, Chris. He's the subject of our next question. So we want to go into Steve Carell. We're going to team him up with Tina Fey and talk about thoughts on date night. Spencer loves it.
I have not seen it since the theater.
Same.
I really wasn't into it.
It was all right.
Which is crazy with the cast.
Yeah, it's like I would say it's cameos galore, but I think all those people. The only person that's uncredited is Leota.
Yeah.
Everybody else has like legit parts. Because wasn't it like? I'm pretty sure Franco was in there, but I don't even remember where. I remember Wahlberg and Ruffalo.
Right.
Yeah, Wahlberg was like a security guy or something. And Franco and Mila Kunis were in the scene together.
That's right. And then was it Jimmy Simpson and Common that were trying to kill them?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing. I remember like the cameos and who was in it, but that's all that stuck with me. I know there's a fucking vomit in it, but it's because of course there is, and that's about all I remember.
Clearly more than I remember.
And that vomit scene's probably the one reason I haven't rewatched it yet, because I maybe should rewatch it because I really don't remember. I don't remember much about like why they were running away or what, but I don't know.
Josie wants thoughts on Junior.
For what the movie is, I feel like it should be more memorable than it is. It's actually kind of a snooze fest.
I think it's funny, but I think that it's missing something. Even though the joke, we're not Junior and not Junior has been like around this friend group for the longest time. That withstanding, it's very unmemorable, but funny for what it is.
Yeah, because with that plot, you'd think that movie would be fucking crazy. The only thing crazy about it is that weird ass nightmare sequence.
Yeah.
With the baby. Oh God.
Schwarzenegger and DeVito just felt like they had better chemistry in twins.
Oh yeah, clearly.
Actually, you know what honestly is the worst thing about Junior? And I think one reason they really didn't go in on how crazy the concept is if I remember correctly, don't they play it pretty seriously?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's taken really seriously.
That was not a good call for that movie.
No. Brian says I had watched Purgatory. Spencer says, love it. I think it got a song nomination at the Globes. Look What You Have Done is a great song. Ooh, favorite arcade scene in a movie.
Or did we think of the same one just now?
Possibly.
Encino Man.
Radmobile. Every single freaking time.
There's the scene where the T-1000 finds John Connor in an arcade.
Well, there's Jesus playing skee ball, but it's never really shown. So it doesn't really count.
There's the skee ball scene in Chasing Amy.
That's where
Oh.
my mind went, was the chasing
Yeah,
Amy
it's
scene.
Great idea. Tron is up there.
Yeah. War games. My answer's War Games.
Oh man, you just straight up William Regaled that.
I know it's just his introduction scene, but I don't know. I just love it.
Ready to
War
rumble.
Games.
Ready to rumble with the Jimmy King game.
Was that was Chris Owens' introduction scene, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Dad just puking for pussies.
Yeah.
Love that. So good.
Just so I want to say something different.
I'm
Never
puking.
say,
I'm not a pussy.
just because I want to say something different, never say never again. I have no clue why we've got that bloody Space Invader style shooter sort of risk thing that has electric shocks. What the hell?
Also, it's not it's a convenience store, but shout out to Vin Diesel and Knockaround Guys destroying the arcade games. He's not in an arcade, they're at a car wash, but he's playing an arcade game. The scene in Very Bad Things, after they've committed after Slater has committed the murders,
Yes.
and they're all sitting in the car wash while the van's getting washed, and they're all pondering what they've done, the horrible thing they've done. How are they going to repent? How will they ever get over this? Slater, the guy that actually committed the murders, is playing like Mortal Kombat while everybody else is pondering what they've done.
Right.
I love how much that says about the character.
So good.
AJ, I'm surprised you didn't throw anything out for Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh shit! Yeah, the entirety of Wreck-It Ralph.
I mean,
Yeah.
technically, because it's sort of. Does the fruit machine from Shaun of the Dead count?
Yeah. I think so.
I was just thinking about the arcade guy in Wreck-It Ralph, where he's talking about putting games out to pasture, and he has that line of, "Well, we're gonna have to put this one out to pasture, like my Nana."
So good.
Did anyone think of Suburban Commando?
That was up there on mine too. Favorite parent-child speech in a movie?
I'm not sure what that means exactly. Is it like a speech from a child to a parent, or a parent and child together giving a speech, or?
Doesn't say. I'm gonna go with reboot. Holden and Alyssa's kid. I can't. I have to. That's an easy one for me.
If we're talking about a child giving a speech to their parents, SLC Punk comes to mind.
I'd say it fits both ways. The live action bit in the first Lego movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, you got an answer before we move on?
Uh,
Oh boy.
it's not the best speech given, but it's very well acted. It's a very important moment in the movie. I would say any conversation that Big Forest and Little Forest have.
Yeah, that's a good one. Reminds me the BAFTAs aren't that far away. It's almost time for fish and chips. Favorite robot going evil scene in a movie?
The scene in 2001 when we realized Hal can read lips.
Man, it's hard to compete with that one.
Yeah.
And then the scene where Hal straight up literally kills somebody. I like the interrogation scene in iRobot.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it turns out like Sonny's not like traditionally evil, but that moment where when he pounds the table and they realize what he's capable of is a really strong moment.
Josie mentions, I love the funeral scene for Blue and Old School. Great scene.
For Robot going evil, although he's evil from the first place, it's only the revelation. Ash and Alien.
Oh yeah,
That's a
that's
good
a good shout.
Just that line of, I can't say what your chances are, but you have my sympathies, and just like the smirk that he sort of does as it is like, whoa, you sick bastard.
Nice.
that's genuinely an Oscar-worthy performance for me at home.
All right. We are almost finished. Favorite car crash scene in a movie? Death Proof.
For narrative purposes, No Country for Old Men comes to mind.
Crash.
For fun purposes, the never-ending wreck in Talladega Nights.
Nice.
And Crash is an interesting answer because we never see the crash itself, right? It's only the aftermath.
Mm-hmm.
Also, for entertainment purposes, I'll say the dude running his car into a dumpster trying to light a joint.
Yeah, that's my
That's a
favorite
great
one.
Which, by the way, is going to be a Fathom event later this year. So fathomevents.com to check to see where you get to see the Big Lebowski on the big screen again.
Oh man, that's such a fun experience.
I can't wait to do it. I'm very excited. Favorite scene of someone doing coke in a movie?
I'm trying to stay away from Scorsese. That's too obvious.
Paul Rubens and Blow.
Bobcat Goldthwait and Blow.
Bobcat and Blow. I feel like it's too obvious for me to say.
I was gonna say I can't even remember if we actually see him do it or if it's just so obvious that he is already.
Yeah, Bobcat and Blow.
I was gonna say Frank in The Departed, but I think I'm gonna change my answer to Sarah Michelle Gellar in the bathroom in Cruel Intentions.
That one can. Yeah.
Ashley, got an answer?
Tony Montana in Scarface. He just puts his face in it.
Well, Cocaine Bear will be on that list soon, very soon as well.
There's also it's played for comedy, but it's actually really disturbing. The scene in the Jessica Biel scene in The Rules of Attraction, when I think it's her friend whose nose starts bleeding, and she's just like, oh, oops, and it's supposed to be this comedic moment between them, but it's like really kind of horrifying.
Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to remember who that fuck it was.
Yeah.
For comedic purposes, I'll say Charlie Day in Horrible Bosses.
Yeah.
Spencer says Anthony Hopkins may be one of the best actors of all time. All his performances are exceptional.
Pretty much, yeah.
Brian says best indie animated movies: Wolfwalker's Flea, I Lost My Body. The breadwinner of my life is Zucchini the Red Turtle, Chico and Rita, Ernest and Celestine. The animation on Ernest and Celestine reminds me of Little Bear. Maurice Sendak. If it was watercolors, most overrated indie film, Anomalisa. I like that movie, Brian.
Yeah.
Oh God, that reminds me, Loving Vincent.
Yeah, that was on the list from earlier.
Yeah.
Favorite scene of someone getting arrested in a movie?
I love the arrest It's like this kind of Scorsese-esque arrest montage at the end of Bad Education, the Hugh Jackman one.
Yeah.
There's American History X.
Bulletproof.
Yeah,
Love Bulletproof.
and any of the Scorsese montages, obviously.
I have to go back to another one for entertainment purposes. Home Alone. 1 or 2.
Oh, this one's spoilery, but it's a movie that's like 16 years old now. Morgan Freeman and Gone Baby Gone.
Oh yeah.
That's a phenomenal scene.
Oh, I'm trying to. Was it Jack Kirby?
Yeah.
In the not pilot episode of Columbo that Spielberg directed.
Brian brings up nominees for Worst Picture at the Razzies. Blonde, Good Morning, King's Daughter, Morbius, Pinocchio. Spencer says, favorite diary... Oh, dear God, why? Why are you doing this to me, Spencer? Favorite Diary of a Wimpy Kid scene in any of the 3 movies? Oh, I love those movies. It's so hard to say.
The scene where Roderick performs Baby.
Yeah. Any of the loaded diaper stuff is glorious.
I can't remember.
Sounds terrible out of context, doesn't it?
I can't remember if that's the second or third one, but I'm pretty sure it's my answer. I also like the Halloween scene in the first movie.
Hey, the first time where they touched the cheese for the first time.
Yeah, the dance scene. Actually, the dance scene in the first movie and the roller skating scene at the beginning of the second movie are
Roller
also
skating scene is great. Brian says, when it comes to magic scenes, Wally the Great's performance on the magic competition in the Wiggles movie. Cassie answered later, Downton Abbey, hands down. First, Kung Fu Panda is overrated. Love the sequels, though, especially the sequels. Can't wait for the 4th film. DJ Spike asks if I think Rock will be at WrestleMania. The answer is no. I don't. Mentions Home Alone. Brian says, which Crash? Obviously, the Oscar-winning Crash. You're welcome. Brian says, Biff's car crash into a manure truck.
Oh, of course.
That's it. That's chat.
Just trying to make sure
That's
that
a
nothing
show.
of importance broken movie-wise in the past couple of hours. Oh God. Pamela Anderson alleges Tim Allen exposed himself on Home Improvement set. That's what I wanted to say. Exactly.
My response to that. Before we take it home, I will officially announce that 2 weeks from today, the winner of Popcast Movie Club, congratulations to Chris. Friday Night Lights will be our next topic of discussion.
He's not going to be here.
I won't be here.
So what do we do?
We do the show, and Chris, I would say, send AJ your commentary on what you would like to say, and we will make sure your words get read to the show.
I can do that.
That'll work. I think that might be what we do from now on. So yeah, that's sirowen.disney@gmail.com. You might want to start using that soon, because if you have any questions beforehand that come to mind, shoot them my way. That could be for anybody that's in live chat right now or listening in archive. So yeah, that makes sense to me. We're working on the Discord server. It'll be up soon. I'll just put it that way. Can't say when, but soon. And more, Ashley will give us more information about that when we get more information about it.
So that
Ashley,
tentatively means the week of the 6th will be Friday Night Lights.
Yep.
And then 2 weeks after that, same time as the BAFTAs. So I'm going to be busy. We'll be Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Nice.
Then 6th of March will be Great White Hype. And Crying Game will round out March.
I can't express how psyched I am about Die Hard with a Vengeance.
I'm glad I'll be here for it.
I'm trying to work out how we're going to do that week. Are we going to put the Q&A on the Monday and then the movie club on the Tuesday, or
we'll worry about it when we get there.
Yeah.
We have so much crap we have to pay attention to. Don't worry about it. We'll get there when we get there.
Well, it's just I knew we couldn't do it.
Soon.
I knew we couldn't do it Sunday because that'll be the same day as the BAFTAs. So
tentative schedule coming up soon, ladies and gentlemen. As we wind through award season. Speaking of that, not award related, tomorrow night at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, DocuSucker or A Fistful of Dynamite. The next pick for Popcast Movie Club, which is Ashley's pick, that will be tomorrow with Ashley, AJ, and Chris. And Tuesday night, we've waited all year for it. 3 videos, 3 guys, 3 opinions, live, literally. You'll get to see our reaction to the Oscar nominations. And then that night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to talk all about it. Probably one of the longest shows we do all season because we are discussing everything. Who missed, who didn't, who belongs, who doesn't, in our mind only, of course. And we're going to talk about all of 23 and everything above on Tuesday. And then we get a break for a little bit. But we got a lot of cool stuff to do. We got QA shows again, more Pop the Question. We have more of Popcast Movie Club, which we just alluded to, for Die Hard with a Vengeance. And we're also going to be doing other things as well. So Ashley's got more snack stashes coming your way soon. I'm about to open the floodgates very soon. I probably will, because at this point, it's almost February. No one's fault. It's just, it's busy. It's busy time right now. Everybody's busy. Everybody's got a lot on their minds. Lots of stuff to do. It's award season. So also you can find Chris on Instagram and also his podcast as well.
Chris on Toys on Instagram and Twitch, Figures and Flippy S on YouTube, and Figures and Flippy Shit Wrestling Podcast on Spotify, iTunes, and all your major carriers. We now do shows on Saturdays. This week we'll have 2 shows because we'll do a show on Saturday, which will cover the week in wrestling for AEW, WWE, and NXT. And we will also be doing our predictions for the Royal Rumble. And then Sunday morning we'll be doing our video for the Royal Rumble.
All right. AJ, of course, cannot be found on social media, and just like Keith Richards cannot be killed by conventional weapons. Needless to say, he's got plenty of content coming your way eventually. So no rush of any kind. Lots of things coming your way, so stay tuned. So that's the best way to put it. Follow me on Twitter at Sir Owen Disney. If you have any questions for Pop the Question, feel free to shoot your question my way at Sir Owen Disney, which is sirowen@gmail.com. So, also, our Discord server is forthcoming, so Ashley will be giving us more information about that in the near future. So, that's your show Tuesday. Get ready. For those of you going to be joining us tomorrow, get ready for Popcast Movie Club. Oscar fans, we in the shallow now. That being said, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. Enough about it. And of course, until next time, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.